All right, welcome back to another dramatic and exciting edition of As the Journey Turns. And it's brought to you by Calgon. It's 2024, right? And there's a presidential election, and there's a chance that Kamala Harris could be the next president of the United States. So, you know what I say to that? Calgon, take me away. Yep. Calgon, where are you when I need you? All right, so we're doing As the Journey Turns again, doing it in somewhat real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. So Neal Sean, he is interacting with fans again over on X. Again, this is my argument for a comms team, right? Communications team, communications director, somebody who is, where's the third guy? The third guy, like Thurston Howell the third, or whatever his name is. Where is he? He should be weighing in and saying, you know, guys, while the band is still on tour, we may want to refrain from interacting with fans. Now, this isn't so bad what Neal Sean says here, but again, it demonstrates a certain level of, I don't know, 180 degrees from the truth. So a fan says, or whoever, when the focus is their music, 100%, they are spectacular musicians. Now, I'm going to piggyback off of that point by this person. He says they are spectacular musicians. I'm getting reports from Portland, right? The Portland show, and people telling me how great Journey sounded. The train is back on the tracks. It's Don't Stop Believin'. It's the midnight train going somewhere. Not sure where. It's going anywhere. And Journey is back in fine form because they've settled this issue. But this is what Neal Sean had to say here. This is pretty good. After the guy says, when the focus is their music, 100%, they are spectacular musicians. And Neal replies, my focus is always 100% on the music. Everything else to me is distraction. Okay. All right. That's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. God bless America. What? I'm a little confused. So look, I've had this theory, and it's a theory. Okay. So, you know, you're in a chat room somewhere and you're talking about this video. It's a theory. I don't know for sure. Just like when I theorized about why someone would spend so much money. I mean, typically, if you're spending money like a drunken sailor, you don't want your kids to get your inheritance, and maybe you only have so much time left on planet Earth. That was speculation. I have no proof of anything, and I've said it over and over. But to this other point about keeping the band in the news. So you say things to get people like me and others to talk about it, to cover it. We're bored with, you know, Journey sounded great in Portland. Everything just went smoothly. I mean, yeah, people would watch that to a certain degree, but they'd rather hear about interactions between Kane and Sean and lawyers, and maybe Steve Perry weighs in. Imagine if Steve Perry weighed in. That'd be like the biggest video of the year. If Steve Perry said, I want to give a statement about Journey and what they're doing to the brand right now. It would be great to hear from Steve. I'd love, even if Steve has no legal recourse right now, which don't count him out, him and Lee Phillips and the team of lawyers that I'm sure Steve could marshal to do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, it'd probably be over in like one day. Yeah, we've decided to just back away from our claims of this, that, and the other because Steve Perry and his team of attorneys have spoken. But to say my focus is 100% on the music, yeah, I don't know. I don't see it that way. If it was, you might be a little bit more careful with the spending. Again, is the spending not true? Has someone come along and said, no, That didn't happen. The credit card wasn't maxed out. The hotel rooms aren't costing 10 grand a night. Has someone from Team Neal said that these are false allegations? They've said they're slanderous. Now, here is my take on that. So it's slander to point out that someone is spending too much of the band's money on stuff. That's slander. You need to keep it to yourself. Hey, we're rock stars. We don't talk that way. We just spend the money. We don't worry about money because you know what? Tomorrow we may die. And that's my whole thesis where, okay, you might as well just spend all the money, if that's the way you view the world. And we could go into worldview and why there are more important things than spending all the money while you can. That means the rest of your life is really empty. Like you don't have another life outside of playing music. Playing music is cool, but maybe helping people, maybe having good relationships with your family, that might be a good thing to try to do. So when he says my focus is always 100% on the music, there is some truth to that. Because obviously there's nothing else to focus on. It's just music. That's all you care about. You've been doing it since you're 10 years old or something. But everything else is a distraction. No, the distractions are used to keep people interested in this band. And I've been seeing this for a couple of years. Let's keep Journey in the news. Then you think Journey's going to break up, and not just me, but other people take to various platforms and say, yep, Journey's all done. Now, I didn't think they were done last year because I had some inside info that said nope. I didn't have any of that same info this year other than people telling me that they hope things get better because if they don't, they're not sure what's going to happen. And right now it appears that they have, steadied the ship and they're sailing in the right direction. And musically, they're back on point. And that's important because a lot of these fans, they don't hear about any of this drama. They just see that Journey is coming to their hometown or somewhere close to them, and they buy tickets to go see Journey. And Def Leppard, for that matter. I can almost guarantee you Def Leppard will not tour with Journey again. I could pretty much guarantee it. If they do, then they've got some sadistic thing going on. Like maybe they're thinking, people show up because of all the drama and then they hear us and we can pull some new fans in. Because honestly, folks, the whole Journey Def Leppard thing, if this were 30 years ago, I'd be like, nah, those two bands don't go together. 30 years ago. See what happens over time. Steve Miller and Def Leppard, how does that go together? Steve Miller, Cheap Trick and Def Leppard, yeah, kind of. Cheap Trick and Journey. See, Cheap Trick kind of goes with everything. It's kind of like black socks. If you got Cheap Trick and someone else, people are going to go, okay, yeah, Cheap Trick and the Butthole Surfers. Okay, I could see how that would work. Sure. But they just sort of blend with everybody. They work well with others. They play well. Whereas Journey, it would be like Journey and Foreigner. Journey and Heart would be a good combo. Heart was on this before Ann Wilson had her little issue there. But they're making new music, Heart. So just stay tuned for that. I haven't done any video stuff about Heart in a while, but apparently they are doing an acoustic album, something I suggested about, 5 years ago. So yeah, social media is a way to keep the band in the news, especially when there's interaction between band members and attorneys and maybe a few media outlets, some major media outlets. But to say your focus is 100% on the music always, there's some truth in that, because if you don't have a life outside of music, that's what you're going to focus on 100% of the time. I would say your focus is on keeping the band relevant and keeping them in the news and hopefully playing the music well once people are coaxed into going to see the band. And they will. They'll do it out of their bucket list agenda, or they'll do it out of curiosity to see whether Jonathan Cain decides to flip his keyboard over, which would be kind of a rough thing to do because it's a big piano. I think he's got a couple other keyboards. And look, Jason is there, right? Jason Derlotka. He can play his stuff over on the other side of the stage. And Cain could just wipe out the red piano and go over and pick up his rhythm guitar and start swinging it at Neal Schon. Also, the guitar posing, Neal Schon does not like the guitar posing that Cain does. So just Journey. As the journey turns, folks, again, being brought to you by Calgon. We're in an election season, and it's 2024, just a couple of months away from the most important election in the history of the universe. So you need Calgon, and you need vodka. So brought to you by vodka as well. God bless everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.